Hey guys, Boog here. In today's video, I'll be covering chapters 10 through 12 of Tower Dungeon. If you missed the previous one, there's a playlist in the description, or you can click the pop-up on the top right corner as well. Let me know what other series you would like me to cover. And as always, thank you for watching. Now on to the video. In the first page of the chapter, we see Princess Ignelia sleeping. She awakes in what appears to be a voided area. I think this looks similar to where Yuba and Rudium were training, so perhaps this is something similar to the fort. It also appears Princess Ignelia is calling out to another female being. We learn that this being is Minsaber. Now just to clarify, this is an issue with reading unofficial translations. Minsaber is the official name or the actual character name of the one I previously referred to as Mincerbell. So from now on, I'll be referring to Mincerbell as Minsaber, as that's her official name. Anyway, Ignelia is thinking to herself that if Minsaber was close, she would be able to sense her. This could be a unique trait of the Draco Metamorph, but then suddenly Yuba appears right before the princess. Yuba looks around and questions where he is. The princess immediately recognizes him. Yuba thinks to himself that this doesn't really feel like a dream. It's like he's actually there. He also thinks about how cute the princess is. Yuba then notices the chains on the princess and sees that she's crying. Yuba then goes to take them off immediately, but before he can do that, the princess interrupts him, telling him it's not possible. But since he is here, she will speak to him, telling Yuba to listen well. Princess Ignelia then explains that the Necromancer plans on resurrecting the dragon on the 80th floor and then taking over his body. They must stop that from happening at all costs. She then tells Yuba to go inform Minsaber, which Yuba quickly informs her that Minsaber and the rest of the royal battalion have all returned back to the capital. It's only the three of them, referring to Squad 7. Upon hearing this, Princess Ignelia then commands Yuba to stop the Necromancer's plot, and she entrusts that him and the rest of Squad 7 to complete this task. She also warns Yuba that the Necromancer is extremely powerful and to stay vigilant. Yuba, while hearing this, thinks to himself that the princess reminds him of someone, but he can't quite put his finger on it. But then the princess interrupts his train of thought, commanding him not to tell anyone else but the people he trusts the most. Yuba agrees to this and remembers that she looks exactly like his sister, Fanupa, which Princess Ignelia immediately asks who that is. This clearly means that she has the ability to read minds, or at least in this realm or area. She then questions Yuba on what his sister is like, and Yuba shares that they're pretty much similar in every single way. Same height, and she can move her hair just like the princess. Then Princess Ignelia takes off her necklace and gives it to Yuba. After Yuba puts it on, he then disappears from the realm, and Ignelia hears a voice questioning who she's talking to. We then see the Necromancer telling Ignelia to quit her fruitless endeavor. Yuba then wakes up to Lillison on top of him. She's yelling at Yuba for calling the princess cute. A servant like him should not only not look at the princess like that, but also he should know his place. Yuba ignores this and informs everyone that he had an amazing dream, but Eliku quickly points out that Yuba has a strange necklace on him. The necklace Yuba just received from the princess in the dreamlike realm. But while they are talking, the necklace disappears. Yuba is also just quite shocked that it wasn't a dream, leaving Eliku and Lillison dumbfounded as well. Eliku then questions Yuba on his birth, asking if Yuba has any parents, and Yuba simply replies no. Eliku and Lillison go back and forth on what this could mean, commenting that even though he's super tough, he is extremely dense, so this could only mean one thing. Eliku then informs Yuba that he is related to the king. We then cut to the 100th floor of the tower and see a giant well. Getting a closer look, we see some being or creature, and on an even closer inspection, it's Princess Ignelia. It appears she is either transforming or maybe dissolving into a creature. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's most likely her transforming into the dragon, which leaves an eerie end to this chapter. And overall, this was a very important chapter. We finally got to see the princess again after what feels like forever. We learn a bit more about the Necromancer's plan and why the 80th floor is so important. We still don't know what the orb does that Yuba has, but now we can confirm that Yuba is a member of the royal family. Otherwise, maybe Fanupa and Ignelia are the same person, just split in half, kind of like a failsafe or something, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, Yuba's origin is still a mystery. If he supposedly had no parents, how was he born, and at the very least, how did he come to be with his grandparents? Now let's see what happens in the next chapter. In the first page of chapter 11, we see a group of new adventurers. We then cut to one of them being on a ship, and one of the members is writing in what appears to be a diary, but the book itself quickly responds and it appears to actually be some form of two-way communication. something only used for important reports. The man or being is then interrupted by a talking rat humanoid, asking him what he was up to. He simply replies his diary. The rat then comments how impressive this guy is for being able to journal under these conditions, commenting that they themselves are quite motion sick. Hearing this, the man then offers some anti-nausea candy, and the rat then remembers to introduce themselves. The rat's name is Cherufi, and she's the daughter of Nezudan, who's the leader of the Ratwicks. We then learn that the man's name is Iscale. Cherufi then introduces the strongest member of her clan, and shares that he doesn't really speak. His name is Gessi. Iscale then returns the introduction with another one. He introduces his servant, and his name is Ruxel. He also really doesn't speak. Iscale then offers Gessi some anti-nausea medication as well. Cherufi then asks Iscale if he's a Draco Metamorph, and he responds he is. Cherufi comments that Iscale must have made that medicine because Dracomorphs must get seasick, since they are used to flying. But Iscale shares that he actually travels on a boat quite a bit. This is due to his prosthetic hand and him missing a wing. Cherufi apologizes, but Iscale reassures her that he knows she didn't mean anything mean by it. They are both then interrupted by another passenger asking for more anti-nausea medication. The lady then thanks him and introduces herself as Aridella. And I don't know about you guys, but she looks like she could be a certain someone's mom, or at the very least related. But then another man comes in, looking for anti-nausea medication as well, and he introduces himself as Sargon, who also has a strange bird mule-like thing named Krogi. The boat then seems to arrive at its destination, and Iscale suggests that they all travel together, creating a cool-looking party of people and ending this chapter. And there's really not too much to comment on in regards to this chapter. It's setting up another cast of characters to explore, and it seems this Dracomorph, or Iscale, is the nicest or most down-to-earth one we've seen, giving medicine to people in need. I also wonder who exactly he would be reporting to, since he is a Dracomorph and all. Maybe it's Minsaber, but I'm not entirely sure. Also, I don't know if he's been the way he is since birth, or experienced a horrible tragedy that cost him his hand and wing. I'm curious to see if we'll learn that or not. Let's see what happens in the final chapter I'll be covering today. We cut to an overview of the royal capital. We see Minsaber reading over the journal. Yes, I was wrong. The same journal that Iscale was using, confirming it's the two of them corresponding back and forth. It appears we are in an instant time, just now from Minsaber's perspective. And it still appears nothing of note has really been reported yet. Suddenly, Minsaber is interrupted by Rudium and Calyx. He's questioning Minsaber on her choices to send the royal army to the tower, asking her to confirm if they are giving up on returning to the tower themselves. Minsaber replies due to the circumstances, she made the best choice possible, but this only angers Rudium, replying that leaving the princess to the rescue of the mere army, not the royal guard, is an insult to everything the royal battalion stands for. Minsaber reminds Rudium that now is not the time to compete with the army. The main focus should be on the survival of the kingdom and not its honor. Also, quick note, it appears all of Minsaber's injuries have been healed. No more eye patch and arm bandage. Calyx tells Rudium to apologize, but before that happens, she calls both of them over. She then comforts them by placing her hand on their head, commenting on how long it's been. She's known them ever since they were kids, and she reminds them how much she trusts them. Minsaber then apologizes to them for keeping too many secrets and not sharing as much as she could. So Minsaber now shares with them the truth, the vow the royal family made in regards to the crown the royal family wears. We then cut to Karash on top of someone. He comments on what the son of a parliamentary secretary would be doing here. The man questions Karash if he's killed all of his men, shaming him for his actions if he did. Karash then asks the man again what is the purpose of him being here, but the man adamantly states he does not have to answer to the likes of him, and he has nothing more to say, so just kill him. Karash then rips the man's arm off and starts eating him alive, telling the man that if he tells him everything, he'll let him choose what part is eaten next. The man shares he is after the crown, and he reveals the Necromancer took over the king's body and summoned the tower. The whole parliament is in an uproar as a result. Karash seems to know this knowledge, saying that the old sayings were true, and he's amazed that the royal family kept this secret for so long. The man comments on how awful it would be if it landed in the hands of Karash. The man then shares that when a dragon comes to the tower, disaster follows. He also shares that in ancient times, he who donned the crown of the Draco Metamorphs could turn to the heavens and summon the tower. The power of the tower could bring prosperity or ruin. Fearing this power, the royal family vowed to never summon the tower again. After telling Karash all of this, he simply states that if the Dracomorphs use the crown, they can summon the tower, It's truly as simple as that. Now he tells Karash since he told him everything, just to kill him. We then cut to Escale's party going up a spiral staircase, the same one Yuba and Squad 7 discovered. They managed to fight a group of undead soldiers and survive. We also learned that Sargon can use fire magic, which I believe is quite unique. Cherupi then questions why Escale doesn't fight, asking if he's saving his power or when it's truly needed. But Escale doesn't respond. He actually looks quite sad. Sargon then talks to Krogi, and he reveals he is not there to save the princess and goes off running, wishing them the best of luck. He also shares that Krogi does not like the staircase. Escale shares that Sargon is something called a crow goat, and generally they are expert rune guides, so they should follow him and figure out what Sargon's true goals are in the tower. Sargon reveals that he is after the man who killed his mother. The man also stole a family treasure before he left. He reveals the man's name to be Karash. Hearing this, Cherupi knows a little bit about him, hearing that he assaulted a girl in the fort. Escale, upon hearing this, doesn't say anything, and he closes his eyes, and they all carry on traveling. They then see the man eaten by Karash, and Sargon knows that this is his doing, and he is close by, leaving an excellent cliffhanger for the next set of chapters. Lots of lore was revealed in this set. We discover the true purpose of capturing the princess, why the tower was summoned in the first place, and Yuba being confirmed to be a member of the royal family. What that means exactly, I'm still unsure. Also, I have no idea what's happening to the princess. Maybe her body or energy is being used to revive the half-dragon. Again, I'm not entirely sure. That also makes me question, though, that maybe the half-dragon is a long-lost descendant or family member of the Dracomorphs, that maybe went mad in the tower or something. Then there's a new cast of characters being introduced. What their role is still unknown. I think Escale could play a pivotal role since he's on the side of Mindsaber. Maybe she sent him after learning more about Yuba, and Escale can be used as a mentor of sorts to train Yuba up to unlock his full potential. But what do you guys think? Did you enjoy this set of chapters? What are your theories and speculations? Let me know down below, and as always, thank you for watching. I've been Boog the Goob. May God bless you, and peace!